Welcome everyone to another episode of What's Up Mainframe. I'm excited to have Kate Tumanova join us today to talk about Code for Z, which if you haven't seen any of the episodes, we'd like to talk about quite a bit. So I'm really excited to have the product manager for Code for Z. And just to get started, there's a lot of excitement about, yes, Visual Studio Code, but especially this Code for Z pack of extensions that we provide. Can you tell us why there's so much excitement about it?
Because Code for Z essentially helps our developers to code with confidence, right? So it provides a set of essential plugins, extensions. Here we go. Yes, that's exactly that. So to code with confidence, meaning being able to access your code, navigate your code, really debug your code and check the quality of your code. So there is an easy way to get started with this. They are really easy to consume. Mm-hmm. For example, you can start as easy as Zoe Explorer and language extensions or Endeavor Explorer and language extensions. That's already bringing you a ton of value, actually, for your navigation, for your searches, for really instead of like doing a lot of page up and page down, you really can move around so quickly.
It's so funny. So many people highlight scrolling. I can scroll.
That's the most popular feature of Code for Z.
No, it's really, but really, it is such a powerful extension pack for mainframe developers. And just to talk about you a little bit, you were a mainframe developer.
Oh, yes.
A bit ago. So how would Code for Z have helped you? Or what do you think about when you consider where you've come and where you are now?
I've started already, over 15 years ago as a mainframe developer. At the time was assembler. So absolutely, I would appreciate all these navigation capabilities, being able to actually jump around my code, assembler code, being able, more importantly, to access my code in Git or a mainframe SCM with ease. That would be absolutely a dream come true for me at the time. I didn't have any of that, to be honest, back in the days, but this all is actually now accessible to assembler developers of our assembler developers who actually wrote this extension for themselves. And now a lot of our customers actually use that. And it's not limited to assembler, it's not limited to COBOL or PL1. It's a whole portfolio of languages that Code for Z now supports.
Now, of course, there's always something new and exciting happening in this space. And so what some of our viewers may know as Code for Z has actually changed a bit. So can you talk about the recent change or the expansion of Code for Z?
There's so much, actually. So we started very, very early with Code for Z as a single installable pack of 8 extensions, right? So we wanted to focus on most common things, right? Accessing your code with your Endeavor elements, your mainframe assets, navigation, right? COBOL, being able to see the visuals of your whole module with COBOL control flow. So debugging, accessing data in vSAM, things like that, right? So most common things. And we saw that these are actually quite successful with customers and we wanted to bring more. So we wanted to really focus on the whole flow of development, right? So we brought a lot more into what we call Code for Z. So if you search for Code for Z these days on the marketplace, you will find that we jumped from 8 extensions to all 19 of extensions.
19, okay.
Yeah, 19.
Just a bit of a jump, yes.
Yeah, so we just recently brought a few new extensions to the market, such as PL1 language support, for example, JCL check extension. So for quality checks of your JCL. And there is a lot more coming in this portfolio. So I want to make sure that everybody understands that we still have the single installable pack. It has now 10 extensions. It's a recommended way to get started with Code for Z. So it supports the most common use cases a developer would need. Do they have to absolutely start with it? No. So it's just a convenience pack. You can pick and choose what is your use case of all the Code for Z. So we now support hybrid integrations, for example. So if you want to API enable your application, your CI/CS application, there is an extension for that, for hostage.
Yes.
If you want to API enable your IDMS Datacom extension, there is an extension for that, right? And there is a lot more, like an upcoming extension for schema management for DB2. That is something that we are expecting very soon.
So it's really taking that foundational pack and really extending it across users or developers of various types. In Broadcom, we say value streams, but it's really from DevOps to your database folks to your automation around Kicks, for example. It's really covering a lot of different roles.
Oh, yeah, it does. And we actually want to support all the activities you would want to do as part of your application development. And it is a variety of personas. But if you think about it, in your life as a sysprog, you would probably always want to submit a JCL, right?
Yes.
Edit a JCL, edit a rec script, do some automation. So that's all things that you can do now with Code4Z from the convenience of your modern IDE, the Visual Studio Code.
That's just fantastic. I just have to point out a couple funny things because we've had Scott Broad on and we got a little glimpse that they were working towards the VS Code experience. So it's great that it's there. And I remember a long time ago when we had Veet on and he was just reading the book of PL1. And so now we've gone from that to we have that support. It's absolutely amazing and exciting for our customers. And I think it's another thing that we should sort of emphasize here is that, right, yes, we're working on this pack in Broadcom, but the code is still open source for a lot of these extensions, right? And we get cooperation from our customers in the development of them.
Oh, absolutely. We have a set of extensions which are open source. We have a set of extensions which are not open source, but they don't require a specific backend. Mm-hmm. We still have GitHub repositories for these where you can ask a question or raise a ticket, and we would actually take care of that. So we essentially provide a community support for this, so you can easily get started. Yes, there is still a whole set of extensions which require certain backend products for these to actually work. But these are like more advanced use cases. So with Code4Z, there is actually this adoption path where you start small with the language extensions, with the navigation, for example. Yes, PL1, thank you for mentioning that. That's a new excellent extension. I'm like really encouraging everyone to try it out. And then you can actually add use cases as you go, depending on what your team specifically is focused on, what your language is, right? So there is so many of these now. There is extension for EasyTrees, there is extension for Rex and OpsRex. There's one more coming for Gen. That's for fourth generation language generator. So yes, there is so many more use cases that you can take care of. But yeah, that's all depends on you, what you want to do in your modern IDE.
No, that's fantastic. And yeah, and that just fits so well with, our general recommendation to customers is kind of the phased approach. Try something out, get some workflows nailed down, and then slowly add the parts to sort of flesh things out. So obviously people can go to the marketplace and download the pack, the foundations, the whole thing, whatever. But is there an even easier way to get started or to try out the Code4Z experience?
Oh, absolutely. And actually, just recently, I just came back from Share just a week ago.
Okay, yeah.
And it was absolutely amazing experience because a lot of people could actually try Code4Z and all sorts of use cases with Code4Z as part of our workshops.
Yes.
Was super successful. I think we got in one day probably 38 people attending. And some of them were really like up to 5 hours in a room trying all sorts of use cases.
I was in and out and it was like, wow, which one are you doing now? They'd moved on to the third or the fourth scenario.
Exactly. So we do this all the time, actually, at like most major conferences and some small conferences as well. We run these workshops, but also we are not limited to conferences. So you can actually request a workshop at our workshop page, web page. And if you go to code4z.broadcom.com, there will be a red button, request a workshop. That's the first thing you see. And for Broadcom customers, this is free of charge. We have a cloud environment environment. We would give you a temporary user ID and password, and you can go through the scenario and really get a feeling of how it is to develop like mainframe applications with all these modern tools.
In VS Code.
Yes.
That's just amazing.
Yes.
So codeforz.broadcom.com, big red button.
Yes.
It's pretty straightforward. And so you mentioned conferences. So Share, yeah, great success. Where might people find you in the near future at a conference?
So some of the upcoming ones would be GSE UK, for example. Of course, we're also running our MTE, Mainframe Technical Exchange. So for Broadcom customers, it's free of charge. You can come and we will for sure do a lot of these workshops there. It's in Plano, Texas, middle of October. So GSE is beginning of November. In UK, Whittleberry Hall as well. We also have a upcoming Polish PDAG user group
yes.
where we will run the workshop as well. But also, like anytime a Broadcom customer wants a workshop, we do it just like this.
Definitely, definitely. So if you're interested, Plano, MTE, middle of October, beginning of November, GSC UK, or at the PDUG conference in Poland.
Yes, end of September.
End of September. All right, lots of opportunities, but yeah, I think the best one is go to the website, click the big red button.
Yeah, exactly.
So we hope that you get a little bit of a picture into Code4Z, what's really new and exciting, which there's a lot. And maybe we'll leave people with a little teaser. What are some areas that are not fully addressed in Code4Z, but we're cooking something up? What can people look forward to?
Oh, that's a lot cooking.
Okay.
I'm glad you asked. So we actually, as I was mentioning, there is an extension coming for schema management of DB2. We're pretty excited about this one. So that's helping the shift left and actually equip developers with the self-service for schema management, still keeping a lot of control for the DBA and actually giving like more opportunities for them to review what's actually changed as part of the pipeline. Then upcoming huge area for us is actually analysis of the code. So we're looking a lot into various opportunities there, talking to our customers already, developing some of the things. We're actually looking, of course, into the generative AI area, as you may have spoken already to.
MCP servers, maybe. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So we're looking a lot into this experience and want to actually equip Code4Z developers and Code4Z users with anything, any model, any client that they want to use, so they can actually use that together in a cohesive experience with Code4Z. So
for
that's
their mainframe development.
Absolutely.
That sounds excellent. Well, Kate, thanks so much for joining us. I feel more confident about Code4Z already, but if any of you have questions or you want to try it out, go to that site, click that red button, or just reach out to us.
Yes.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.